Hi guys, Quiver here. I am finally explaining the lore to my OCs! Okay, so I'm basically doing this because Charlizard did it, my best friend Charlizard. So, yeah, let's just get right into it. So, it said in the thumbnail, show concept, because yes, I do want this to be a show, actually. You're probably already reading what's on here right now, and that's okay, I'm just gonna read it out loud again. So, yeah, I just finished my breakfast, I'm still drinking my coffee, but I'm recording this anyway because my mom just left. So, home alone with my sister, but that's okay. I'm gonna do this anyway, right now. So, really, any and all alternate universes that I make, at least, are pretty much canon. So, but it's especially the Finding Divinity, or the Eighth Flame, or the Co-King AU that are most canon, as well as the Norman human. Wait, why did I say Norman? I'm so obsessed. Other than the normal human versions of them, them, and then the Finding Divinity ones are the two main canon ones. So your Elio, the ex-military and cannibal, the villain, those are all canon. I'm deciding which ones are canon and not, but they're all pretty much canon. So, and you'll see why. You'll know why. Eventually, not in this video, but eventually. Also, ignore the speed paints because I made them, like, in 2 hours last night. So, yeah. I really half-assed them. I'm so sorry. But anyways, into the lore to Finding Divinity. Wow. So this will be Hypothetical Season 1. Finding Divinity. I'm so excited. I love this. I only shared this with 2 friends. So, maybe more, but I know specifically I've shared this with 2 people at the very least. And now you guys get to see it, but who's gonna see it? I'm only gonna get like 10 views on this video, right? Yeah, right. Okay, let's get into this anyway. The story starts off with usual Norman and Veronica living in Miami, working their jobs. Yeah. When suddenly the sky splits open and white-winged beings fly forth, and the ground cracks while red-horned creatures rush out with women with weapons and battle cries. Around the world, terror is inflicted. The apocalypse has arrived. The Divine War of the 14. That's the actual name I'm putting to it. The Divine War of the 14. 14 is the specific number. Yeah. 6 months later. Humanity is gone. The world has been shattered of its beliefs and cleansed of its own flesh. The only 2 remaining, ironically enough, Lameo, are Veronica and Norman, foraging to survive and living in their... I spelled their wrong! No! Foraging to survive in their underground bunker, sealed away from the world and the war. One early morning before dawn, Veronica leaves the bunker to head 2 clicks north-northeast to the water tower to refill their supply. She gets there safely and starts filling the canteens. A feeling wafts through the air. Smells like nothing. Wait, no. Smells like something undeniably delicious, and not in a good way. Her blood runs with a different intensity, and she knows the feeling is lust, and only one being could be the one. Osmodeus. Also, these characters are not like the characters, the 7 sins at least, are not like the ones from House Hotel, technically, yes, because Lucifer's a sin, and Hello Boss. I made the characters my own, okay? Even though this is pretty much inspired, I made it my own. Okay, Asmodeus, a figure suddenly peeks out from behind a tree. What do we have here? Oh my gosh, no, I need to get better at my acting if I'm gonna do one act play. What do we have here? Veronica bolts, leaving the canteens behind and grabbing her spear. She hears an almost panicked voice behind her. No, it's one of the sins. Keep running. She gets back to the bunker and slams it shut, turning to Norman and explaining. They brace for impact. Nothing? Veronica opens the hatch. Out there, laying against a tree, examining his nails, is a man with dark skin, blue hair, neon green eyes, a sleeveless suit. He looks up, unimpressed. May I speak now? Veronica hesitantly nods. The man sighs and pushes off the tree, dusting himself off and approaching them. Well, y'all are very rude, you know? Especially her, running away when I just wanted to talk. Manners are non-existent. Veronica scoffs. I'm sorry, but you're deadly sin calling me rude? You have some nerve, huh? What's this all about? Talk or leave. The man sighs. Well, yes, I'm a deadly sin. The one and only Asmodeus, Prince of Lust and ruler of the lustful pit. But that doesn't mean I'm a bad guy. Veronica's confused. Not a bad guy? Listen, I can't exactly explain, but we need you to help us win the war. Sorry? We, as in the other deadly sins? War? How did this war even start? Asmodeus winces and another person shouts, She's on to us! And Veronica's world goes black as a rock hits her head. Asmodeus turns furiously to Mammon. We had her, idiot! Norman, who watched the whole thing, it said nothing. I don't know why. He's gonna say something in the actual thing when I make it, but for right now, he said nothing. Norman, who watched the whole thing, grabs out his pistol and aims right at the 2 men who shout in unison. 3 days later. Veronica woke up on... Whoa, this is a long paragraph. Veronica woke up on silk sheets, definitely not in her bunker. She glances at her surroundings groggily, and a woman with tired eyes, pale skin, and silver hair is standing in the corner. Undeniably Belphegor, the sin of sloth. She was watching over Veronica as she rested. Belphegor leads Veronica to the main living area, where 6 other figures are lounging. She spots Asmodeus, lounging in a beanbag, a woman sitting in his lap with a bowl of popcorn and bee-like wings. Beelzebub, most likely. Mammon, a twig with greasy black hair, green eyes, and gold pupils, rushes up Veronica, sobbing messily, and offers her his most shiny coins as an apology, which she takes hesitantly. A woman with almost blue skin, black blue hair, and neon highlights and gills on her neck, Leviathan of envy, almost smiles. Well, you must be No, well, you must be a special mortal for Mammon to offer his the most precious coins. Obviously jealous. She's envy. Veronica's confused. So these are the 7 deadly sins lounging around. Certainly not how she could imagine them, but she didn't know what she was expecting. A man stirring tea in the kitchenette, with black hair tied back, a waning halo, and a white sweatshirt with a graphic of an apple, approaches Veronica, the apple. This could only be Lucifer himself, the morning star. Still mortal? What do you mean by still mortal? Hush. I am Lucifer. My idiotic brother, Michael, started this war. He waged it after he had enough of what cruelty I brought upon humanity. The man was always more prideful than I was, and I'm pride incarnate. Anyways, Veronica ends up siding with the Sins and is reunited with Norman to come up with a plan. The two make out for a very long time. Asmodeus was smirking like a proud father the entire time, because he's lust. Of course he is. And of course they're watching. The plan. Beelzebub would distract the cherubim guarding the... Plural, by the way. I don't know if that's the correct plural. All I know is that seraphim and seraphim are different. It's kind of like sheep and deer and deer. And moose and moose. Beelzebub would distract the cherubim guarding the gate to Michael's fortress with sweets and sugar, allowing the rest to slip into the lair. Satan, of wrath, Veronica and Norman storm up to the throne room, and Veronica and Satan will convince Michael to surrender. Norman will watch the door and be the last resort if things get physical, obviously. The plan works, and Satan with his double daggers and Veronica with her spear, now upgraded with forged angelic steel. Don't like that, whatever. Have to fight Michael into submission. End the war, basically. Veronica managed to wedge her spear... Veronica managed to wedge her spear in Michael's shoulder, who let out a loud groan of pain. He grabs it out and charges at Veronica with his sword. Of holy light. Yes, to the melody of crumbled crown. I am going to make a cover for that. It is going to suck, but okay, anyways, back to the story. I get so off topic so fast. Norman is just about to step through the door to help them, and watches as Michael pierces his sword through Veronica's heart. She collapsed to the floor dead. Norman watched it, ironically enough. Tears filled his eyes, and he screamed, lunging at Michael. If y'all don't know, Veronica, saved him from, giving up. So, this is, really serious to him. Michael can't believe what he did. Murder of an innocent mortal. His pride had won. He let Norman wrap his hands around his throat. He can't die from oxygen deprivation, but he lets it happen anyway. The choking, I mean. Not dying, obviously, as God's most powerful angel. The other Sins rushed into the room, having heard Norman scream. The sight of Veronica dead on the floor crushed them all. Mammon couldn't cry this time. Lucifer, in a more regal outfit now, stepped forward and knelt at Veronica's side, then reached out and closed her eyelids. Silent respect for the fallen soul. Oh my gosh, I can't. He stands and stares at Michael, who escapes Norman's grip and stares at his brother shaken. The air pulsates. I'm not going to give much more detail of the mail. I gotta do. I wrote this earlier, 2 hours ago. Maybe 2. The air pulsates, and a burst of light, Veronica levitates off the floor and rises as a new being altogether. Wings of an angel, horns of a demon, a halo perfectly crimson gold. The 8th flame has arisen. She looks around confused, then she remembers. Humanity. That's an issue. She snaps her fingers and everything is back to normal. Humans strolling about cities like before the sky split and the ground cracked open. She looks at Norman, still mortal, and at her now immortal form. Another issue. Obviously, she isn't going to live without her soulmate, so she snaps her fingers again, and Norman's now immortal too. Blah, 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 keep our balance, blah, 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 ambition incarnate of sin and virtue, blah, 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 shows mercy for Michael, his murder, war rage, sentences him to 500 years of community service around heaven, blah, 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 happy ending. It's called a manic episode, and you're getting more seasons. I haven't decided how many hypothetical seasons there will be, Linnea. Anyways, that's my hypothetical season 1 of my show, Finding Divinity. That's the Verman fandom now. FIDI, like Wi-Fi, for short, will be the acronym. Bye, Linnea, anything else, Quiver? Yes, why thank you, Quiver. So, yeah, that was kind of a lot in whatever time frame I recorded this in. I really wanted to make this long-form video before school started. I got my schedule, and I'm starting in basically 2 weeks from now. 2 weeks from today. So, yeah. Another thing is I will explain my Ivy and Ava Bella stuff sometime later this week. I don't want to, maybe next week. I don't know. I'm not sure. I have to help out my sister and stuff because she got her appendix removed a week ago. That's a story for another day. Which I'm not going to tell probably. Anyways, yeah, hope you enjoyed my lore. And, there will be, guess what? A Q&A. And I will put the link to the Google form in the description. And I will try to, I don't have a set deadline, but yeah, I will close the Google form in a couple weeks. So everybody can, okay? Yeah. If the speed paint's repainted, or if the speed paint's repeated, then, sorry. If the speed paint's repeated, yeah, I only made 2, and I really have asked them. So, yeah, okay, bye. Hope you enjoyed.